woke up the next morning and we watch around.
People just cry. A lot of people cry.
In roof.
I mean, it was.
Electric roof.
If you had to be there directly after the morning after, you would have cried.
Last night we made it from St. Martin to St. Bart's, the famous hangout of rich and famous. Right there, that's St. Bart's, and I'm going to zoom out and show you where that's St. Martin, St. Bart's, and we didn't anchor in the usual place because the winds are very unusual. They're out of the south. In fact, that's exactly why we're motoring right now. So we ended up anchoring over here in Anse de Colombier, and normal place where all the yachts usually hang out is right here in Gustavia port. And now we're going straight south to Nevis, right here. This is St. Kitts, this is Nevis. So we're heading over to this place I know. Over here, as you see, we have a track. And we made it here once. It's called Lover's Beach. Really nice place. Today we get a first prize for most complicated and convoluted hooking up to the buoy. Check it out. Left Nevis and decided to go straight to Monserrat. It's going to go to Monserrat and then on to Guadeloupe. So we made it to Monserrat. We are at the northeastern end of it, by the town called Monserrat, and the whole southern 2/3 of the island is off limits because of volcanic activity. Plymouth is an old capital that is completely dug into volcanic ash. We stopped by Pigeon Island. Pigeon Island is supposed to be this really picturesque, beautiful place to snorkel and dive and whatnot, and in fact, if we just looked outside the window, it's pretty nice. So we're more or less in the middle of the Saints. The Saints is this little archipelago of islands that was discovered by Christopher Columbus in 1493 on the Saints' Day. Apparently November 1st, I guess. Kuba just decided to crown me as a captain. So we're almost at Dominica. We got about 5 miles to go. It's a very, very nice sail. We have about between 10 and 14 knots of wind, and we're doing about 8.5 to 10.5 knots. It's very, very nice. About 50 degrees to the wind. So here's the situation. We're in Dominica. The rest of the group went to see the island, and we have 60 liters of water, which is nothing. It's like 1/10 of our tank, less than 1/10. And our desalinator, as you probably already know, is fried, so that's not making any water. And most of the facilities here are out of service after the hurricane, as you can tell. So I came up with this crazy idea. Since our boat is really small draft, about 1.2 meters, give or take 4 feet and change, then we have our friendly restaurant over there, Purple Turtle, and they are willing to connect our hose. So we're gonna try to anchor in such a way that we're very, very close to them. We're kind of lucky because for some odd reason we have a westerly wind today, so we can drop an anchor a little bit over this way and kind of make it long enough to stand right next to the shore. And hopefully then the hose is going to be enough to connect to the spigot in the building. We anchored in about less than 1 foot of water, hoping that the level is not going to change much, as there is not too much of a tide over here. I'm monitoring it closely all the time, since if anything happens we can get going. I also looked downstairs, it looks really, really close, but thanks to that we are super close to that restaurant, and we were able to connect our 2 hoses together over here, and there you go, and we're filling with water. There we go. Since poor Albert is sick at home, his son has taken over. Hi, Alvin. And we're gonna go visit Albert, since he cannot move for the moment. Come on.
High five.
It had to be really crazy during the hurricane, right?
Imagine I live in a comfy house.
Yeah,
The whole house
was shaking.
and I went up here in roof. Going loud.
Uh-oh. Oj, chodź, no injuries today.
So like I was saying, we took in him Sunday because the country had shut down since Sunday.
Right.
The Prime Minister said, "But in prepare ourselves and stuff." So I went to find that on Sunday, and on Monday he wanted to go back home.
He wanted to go home on Monday already?
Yeah, he wanted to go home,
but there was
because
no home.
He said the hurricane had come in, it's passing straight and so forth. So I didn't study that. I'm not going home. On Tuesday, it happened on Tuesday, so Tuesday night, I get the wind blowing and everything. He said, "No, my house is gone. My house is gone." You didn't see it yet.
You know, we were just talking to our friends in St. Martin, and they were telling us a story about this windsurfing school that had equipment in a container next to the shore. It rolled up the hill 2 miles.
Oh, that's pretty fast.
Crazy. Yeah. Also the river.
it back now.
It's what?
The roof.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're putting it back.
Oh, they're putting it back up already? Wow, that's quick. Is that your power generator?
No, that's the other side. My generator I read it out to the guy.
So you have no power right now? I mean, like not...
Yeah, we got the generator.
Oh, it's already there?
Yeah.
Hello.
Albert!
How are you?
Good to see you. Me too. I was gonna say in one piece, but not exactly. Somehow you survived being in two pieces. Did you ever discover what was it? What was it?
It was
Because it was some sort of infection, right?
but they would find the infection and they would treat me for the infection with antibiotics.
And they would do
It would
nothing.
look nice and red and pinkish like it's healing. And then when the antibiotic was out of the system again,
And then it would start
I
again.
Keep looking after it in the
Yeah.
hospital. Then it would change color like green or red flesh and it's all the way up here. All that.
All the way up.
Yeah, it's all the way here.
Wow.
Right around, so there's no skin. So
Right,
all the body
right.
fluid was going after time. That was like it was draining my energy. It was going.
So now with the way they did it,
Yeah.
they can fit the false leg pretty easily, right?
Yes.
Okay. That was the whole point, right?
That's
So then you'll be able to operate with your knee normally, right?
Yeah, I'll be able to operate with
yeah. Wow. I mean,
I can still feel the wound.
Wow.
The wound.
So it's like
I had on-
it's a phantom pain, right?
Yeah. It was so much pain. I can still feel it because I used to feel beneath the ankle, there paining and here paining. Just everywhere. That vein. See that vein coming there? There's two veins. You could see those exposed.
Okay.
And if they would clean, when they dress in the hospital, they would use the cotton to clean it. It would pain. And that exposed. The ankle was exposed. You could see
The bone.
ankle.
Wow. But
Everything.
how'd you get that wound in the first place? Or did it appear on its own?
It didn't come naturally.
Really?
It was by some
Have you talked to the Caribbean Indians about this?
No.
Never.
It
Huh.
was by some wicked sorcerers.
Okay.
Wicked sorcerers. One woman and a man.
Huh.
They did it. In 2010, I saw it. I had a smaller boat and I saw it in the boat, but I didn't know.
Huh.
I see the sign, but I didn't know. I took off my shoes and my boat and I was standing on it. I had it first newly he attempted me. When he saw it 6 years after, I couldn't believe it. When I went in the 25th, that was the Wednesday, he said, "You're not going back home." I admitted to the Rose Hospital. I spent Thursday, they came in, filled some form, but I really wanted it. I signed. Friday, theater. I was just a week.
Really?
Yeah, they did
Oh, they did
spinal-
epidural.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking with the people inside, not smiling. That was so heavy. They were working. I know they were working, but I couldn't feel any pain.
Right.
I could hear the soil.
That's surreal.
No, it's true. When
No, but I mean, it's not surreal when you're hearing your own bones being cut and not feeling anything.
I just asked them to give me a screen
So you don't
can
see it. Right,
I
right.
prefer not to see.
Right.
Like, even if I wouldn't feel any pain, I didn't want to panic.
Right.
You know? Everything was normal. Pause, pressure. This is not my problem.
It's much better.
And when
When
we
the doctor
finish,
today,
it's itching a lot.
they
It's itching. Because it's healing.
Yeah, it's
They remove for the rest of the stitches. They remove 4 stitches today that remain. But it's hidden properly.
Last Wednesday they had removed 9.
9.
Uh-huh.
And today they removed
Today
the
they
last
removed
one.
transformed.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So now you're just healing.
Yeah.
How'd you make out with the hurricane?
I stayed here. We stayed
You were just here, yeah, right? Yeah.
Not that scary.
Well,
Not
you
my
were in-
first hurricane.
You were in concrete buildings, so, but
Not my first hurricane.
right, but probably the first so strong,
Yeah.
right?
It was scary.
Yeah.
That building was shaking.
The concrete building was
Concrete,
shaking.
yeah, because actually.
I imagine I was scared.
When you were looking out the window, did you see things were obviously flying, right?
It was
When I looked out
nighttime,
my
but
bedroom window, I saw a piece of roof just flying over
night.
this wall. Leaning over
we
there.
had a flashlight. We could flash out, and my son could see things that just fly.
When we wake up the next morning and we watch around,
People just cry. A lot of people cry.
the roof,
I mean, it was.
electric roof,
If you
wire,
had to be
post.
there directly after the morning after, you would have cried. I was strong, that's why I didn't cry. But
Yeah.
the night when it was happening, I was shaking because I knew something was going on. And I said a lot of people is going to kill because
Did a lot of people get killed?
37 deaths.
7 deaths?
37.
37 deaths.
Yeah, and then some is still missing. But the Prime Minister
category
did shut down the country since the Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday he shut down the
Yeah,
country.
he shut the country
He
down.
said everybody that has to go to shelter goes to shelter.
Uh-huh.
But you know some people rather stay in.
Yeah,
At home. Yeah. Well, you stayed at home, but you have a concrete home, so that's a different story.
concrete.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's renting.
But you know what? I saw buildings in St. Martin that were concrete that were gone.
Well, you see, we
Yeah, because I saw it. Some were upside down.
Yeah.
We build our
I saw it
structure
on,
much stronger.
Well, it was supposedly the strongest hurricane in the well, Irma was,
Because we
and then Maria was.
tornado, it had earthquake, tornado.
Yeah. The other day, the morning, people just cried. People didn't know what to do. Shattered everywhere.
We couldn't pass in the yard.
Right.
Pass because that
So much debris, yeah.
All
Uh-huh.
about.
It was so grown all over. And after the hurricane, you could stay here and see 2 miles away from me. One black piece. The hospital, you couldn't see it when you by the roadside. There's a bus stop there. You couldn't see the hospital on the hill. After the hurricane, Maria, you could see the hospital.
So yesterday we provided some financial support for the families over here, and today the kids are collecting their toys that they're not using and giving away to our friends, to our local Dominica friends.
Os segredos vêm da floresta de luz. Pachamama, Pachamama, abre a consciência dos seus filhos a crescer.